You are now listening to the Real Afro Unity podcast with our hosts, Daring and Ayo, where they'll be discussing various topics that affect our African diaspora. With these conversations, they aim to hopefully bridge the gap between us African Americans with the Nigerian diaspora. They will dismantle the myths and share a new perspective. Please sit back, relax, listen, and enjoy the conversation.
All right, people, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Real Afro Unity Podcast, live from the City of Brothers. This is Daring Lucia Stokes with the OG AYG,
Yo.
OG Capital, baby.
Wagwan.
What you doing?
I'm good, chilling.
Hey, bro. Tell me, how has it been?
It's been good. I can't complain. God's been good. That's all I'll say.
All right. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we are here today with a delectable, inspirational, because beauty doesn't even, do justice to how she looks.
There's no quantifying.
There's no way I can even fathom it. So,
thank you.
interesting, lovely individual, my sister from another mother, representing ATL.
So ATL in the building. And New York too.
And New York too.
I'm from New York City. What's up?
Nice.
How you doing? How you feeling?
We're good.
Love it. Thank you for having me. I'm so
welcome.
happy to be here.
It's a privilege to have you.
Absolutely. It definitely is.
Hi, come on. Tell me.
What's up? Let's talk.
Let's go. It's been a while. Come on, let's go, Darren. Let's go. What questions you got?
I don't even know where
I already
to start.
started in a way because I wanted to know her background, like New York, ETL, all of that. But I want to know where you want to take us, bro.
I think I just want her to just give the people watching one or two about her.
Okay, let me go ahead and start. What's up, everyone? It's your girl, Tyra. I'm to fine, I'm to bad, I'm to sexy.
Okay.
Representing ATL. I am the host of the best show in the world, The Lounge, ATL. Go ahead and check us out on all social media platforms, The Lounge, ATL. I've been doing that show for about 4 years now, so it's something that I'm very proud of, and it's on its way up. So I'm definitely excited to see what the future has in store for the show. I'm an actress, I'm a filmmaker, and I'm a host, and I'm an all-around creative. So,
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Nice.
Check me out. Follow me on social media, Tyra Omotola. Tyra Omotola.
Thank you very much. Oh shit.
Goddess.
Wow.
That was a nice one. So thank you for
that
thank
intro.
you for coming down
Absolutely.
to the City of Brothers.
Absolutely.
Solid.
Thank you for having me.
When I say Real Afro Unity, what comes to your mind?
That's a good question.
Okay, I feel like the unity of all Black people within the diaspora.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
That's what I think about when I hear Real Afro Unity. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And that's what we do on this platform. Just uniting and reuniting Black people all over the world, anywhere you might be, Caribbean, American, Africa. Please join the family.
Yes,
Let's get bigger.
tap in.
Yeah,
Let's benefit from one another.
Yes.
We've all we've got. So
Absolutely.
hey,
Yeah. Definitely
welcome.
tapping. Thank you. So what's the tea? What's going on? You trying to go into it slow? So
no, I don't want.
you won't scare me off.
No, I don't want to be the one to that is the person people are scared of, not me.
Oh, they're scared of him. What are they scared of him for?
The New Yorker in me will still come out. So.
Listen, I come in peace. I just got my questions.
You be offending people.
Sometimes I have offensive opinions, but I try to keep them to myself.
You and me both. I tend to have, I think I was telling him earlier, I tend to have a bit of a controversial take most times, and I tend to say certain things that may offend people, but I'm working on that.
Actually, let's go right.
We're not going there. Trust me, I'm not the same. I'm reformed.
We will
Just
go
letting you
there.
know right
We'll go
now.
there.
But
I'm
just before we go
reformed.
there, I know you've told us about what you do, what you're into, but the reality of it is also you're from a Nigerian descent,
Absolutely.
So-
I'm a Nigerian. Me, Yoruba babe.
right? Yoruba babe, not a demon.
Yoruba babe. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm a Yoruba angel.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh,
Yoruba
shit.
babe.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Love
Yes,
that.
I am.
So let me start this way.
Yeah.
What was one moment you realized you're both Nigerian and American at the same time?
Damn. Yo.
You know what? Let me talk about this real quick because, to be
like
honest
that.
with you, when I was young, I don't think it ever clicked to me that I was Nigerian.
Oh,
I don't think so. I think when I was young, it was obviously I grew up in a home with Nigerian parents, so they spoke Yoruba in the house. So I understand Yoruba, but I can't speak it, which is unfortunate. It's very common for a lot of us who grew up here,
Absolutely.
born and
Yes.
grew up here in the States, for us to hear the language but can't speak it. So I grew up in a house where my family they all spoke Yoruba. We ate the food to a certain. Well, my parents ate the food. I did not eat it to that extent.
Okay.
I would say I ate more of Nigerian food when I was younger compared to as I'm older.
Okay.
I can definitely say that. I can remember when I was younger that my mom would make amala. I would eat amala. Now I cannot eat that.
Wow.
I don't like it.
Wow.
It doesn't
So no
smell.
swallow or just
I can do swallow, but I just don't like amala. It doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't. No.
It doesn't do it for you. Okay.
Nah. So, but when I was younger, every now and then I can eat African food, Nigerian food, or whatever. But as an adult now, not really. But to go back to your question, for me to say that I was Nigerian growing up, it did. Honestly, I don't know what to say. I feel like when I was younger, I didn't even identify with even being black.
Damn.
I felt like I was just a person. When you're younger, you don't see color like that.
Gotcha.
As a
Oh,
child, you don't
okay,
see.
okay.
As a child,
I see what
as
you
a
mean.
child, you
get
don't
what
really
you're saying.
see color. I have friends of all walks of life, races, backgrounds, ethnicities. Like my friends were white, Hispanic, black, everyone. So I didn't just have one set of friends who were just one skin
One
color.
set of
Absolutely
group.
not. Yeah,
Gotcha.
I have all kinds of friends. So as a child, you just playing around, hanging out with your friends. You're not thinking race or
Gotcha.
now as we're older, everybody's separating themselves. But when you're younger, you just mix in and you just
part of the mix.
you're just
Part of the-
enjoying life. So
Gotcha.
for me to realize that I was Nigerian, that's a good question. Maybe not. It didn't click. Like click. I don't know. Maybe not until maybe when I was like teenager years, maybe.
Got it.
Maybe
Got it.
for it to like.
that was when
So
you
that- and that's
realized that you're
ATL
like, oh,
too,
okay,
right?
there's
Maybe-
something.
When you're getting older, like in your teen years, you're starting to develop yourself, who
Gotcha.
you are.
Your own personality.
Your own personality,
and identity.
in your identity, exactly. So I think
Gotcha.
maybe around that time, yeah.
Interesting. So before I deep down, because next I'm going to.
Okay.
Did your mom ever give you amala to go to school with?
No, God forbid, so they can embarrass me. I bet.
Nah, you be the.
So they can embarrass me.
Maybe they gave you beans and rice.
No. So I went to
Before
a school.
before you could say no.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's look at it that way. Before you
we
could say
didn't.
no.
No, we didn't. No, my parents will never do. No offense to the parents who do that to their children. Okay, it's fine. My parents did not. No. We had regular.
Regular
food.
rice, regular or
School
whatever
food.
school
Whatever,
food is.
we
burgers
didn't.
and
Yeah. I didn't like take food
grilled
from
cheese
home.
sandwiches, whatever.
Yeah.
they
Before
provide.
I let Ewa, this will be a good pivot to you. I think we once had a lady on this show that grew up in New York as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the school setting and everything was kind of crazy for her growing up in New York. Before you moved to ATL, how was school life for you as a child, basically?
So before I moved to ATL?
Before you moved to ATL.
in Staten Island.
It was
New
different.
York.
It was so different because the school I went to was a Catholic school. I went to a private Catholic school in Staten Island, St. Paul's Elementary School, and
So you're bourgeoisie.
No, I wouldn't say
When
that.
she said Staten Island, I
Honestly,
said that these are the ones
That's what
that-
I'm saying. Now the level is different,
it's different,
right?
though.
No, I don't think that's school was one of those elites.
It don't matter. It was not public.
It wasn't. Yeah, but most schools in New York, everybody goes to private school in New York.
No, not everybody.
Everybody that's bougie.
Everybody that you know.
Everybody's bougie.
Compared to in Atlanta, if you go to a private school, you're bougie.
In Atlanta.
Yeah, because it's very expensive.
Okay.
But I feel like the ones here, I mean, I'm not going to say it's not expensive. I'm sure there are very expensive schools in the city.
Right.
But compared to the ones
in Atlanta.
Nah, it's not. It wasn't bougie compared. It was just normal, regular school.
When I say bougie, so let me first. When we say bougie, it just means you are not like part of the group of other people that just the standardized people that just going to school publicly.
Oh Lord.
Like, you feel me? Like, so it's if your mom and your parents was like, you know what, we don't want you to go here, so we'll pay for you to go here when we have the option to take you somewhere else for free.
They want us to have the best, but you know what?
Exactly,
The main reason why we went to they want us to have the best, but you know what was so interesting? The school I went to was literally right next door to my house.
Oh, dope.
Like when I say next door,
nice,
like this is my house, this is my school.
Beautiful.
Right
I
there.
see it. Got you.
So that just cemented that opinion, like
it was just right there.
it's for the rich.
It was
you know.
definitely
My house
the area.
I could have been homeschooled. I just decided to go next door and go to school.
That's dope though.
But I did. But you know what?
To
To be fair though, I went to private school all throughout like preschool up until sixth grade.
Oh yeah, you up?
Yeah.
No, so you the kids that's on the island, and we the ones on the mainland. You feel me?
Don't worry that you never met her.
So like, there's no
Because
way.
I was wondering, how come you guys haven't met each
You
other
were
before?
busy taking the elevator while you was taking the.
I'll take it. If you want to,
You was taking MTA buses.
You want to put me in that category? Why not?
So that was nice.
That's dope. That's dope though.
Your parents got there and lived the life.
So wait, you know why it's dope? Let me. Oh, my bad.
Please, though, we weren't rich. We were not rich. We were just average. You know, African parents,
above
they're
standard
immigrants coming to the country. They want your children to have
be the best.
They want them to have the best. They don't want you to live in, poor neighborhoods.
Right.
If sometimes, when I was young, like when I was very, very young, maybe like 1 year old, we live in a bad neighborhood. But I feel like that's common for most immigrants who come to the country.
Right.
But then from there, they have to
then
work
you move
their
your way.
up to-
See, you see that itself is our mindset.
Okay.
African Americans don't think like that because they think that what the government gives them is their best option. And if they have to work for something else, it's like, oh, why should I have to do that when this is for free? But whereas we come with the mindset of we want the best regardless of what the situation is. Even if we have to pay for it, we still want the best.
Now, when you say we, I feel cheated.
so.
You're not one of us.
I'm one of you.
No, you were born here.
And that doesn't mean that I was.
I don't think. I feel like it doesn't matter wherever your family is from. Everybody wants their children to have the best. Everybody wants their children.
That's nice to say.
Everybody wants their.
Do you think everybody is actively doing that?
That's what
I mean, sometimes you just can't afford to have the best, but you want nobody wants their children to suffer.
Well, if an immigrant can come and put their kids through some sort of private school.
But I told you the school wasn't even that expensive.
It don't matter. It was a thought for your parents to put your kids in a place where there's a better opportunity because this is what we value. We value knowledge. We value academics. And so they put their money where their mouth was. Whereas the people here would think, oh, why can't y'all go to this school? What's wrong with going to this school where all the black...
I disagree.
Let me ask you. All the students in your class...
Before we get there, we are going there. That will be all
right, cool. That's why I asked you
the roundup. The other part of this.
I disagree.
I'm not scared of going there. I have my opinions as well. But everyone's opinion is quite different from mine. And so, but I want to build the conversation to ATL now.
Yeah,
okay.
Because
talk about it.
That's one of those places I heard a lot about. I've been there maybe once or something.
Okay.
I've not really experienced life there.
Got it. Okay.
To the fullest, let me put it that way.
Okay.
And so, what was the transition like? What was the difference for you between New York and ATL?
Until you tried to pivot into something
yeah,
that was not
okay.
All right. Now we're back.
So yeah, yeah, I feel like growing up, I went to a private school, Catholic school, and it was a different environment because everything was kind of like structured as far as what we could do, how we could dress, stuff like that, whatever. Everybody was just we had rules, regulations, and all that kind of stuff. But then transitioning from that to ATL, I went to a public school for the very first time. And that was a whole different ball game because I wasn't used to that. I was like coming from private school, Catholic school, wearing uniforms every day, going to religion class, having to pray and mass and all this kind of stuff. And then now coming to a public school and the kids are different. It's different. I mean, different city, different state. So everybody's different. Everybody talks different. People were making fun of the way I talked. I will never forget that day. Like, people were asking me to say certain words. When you're from New York, you say certain words differently compared to the ones,
in the South.
Yeah, in the South. So people were always trying to have me to say certain words. I was saying this, say that. Why you sound like this, whatever. And it was just different, just going from private school to public school and just the environment and how the children, I don't think kids, the school that I went to, private school that I went to, nobody was fighting. Nobody was fighting there. I didn't see fights. People
So the public school you even went to?
People, how normal school.
Was it bougie public
No,
school?
it wasn't bougie. I'm saying they fought. Kids were fighting.
Okay.
That's a whole different world to me. Like, I'm not used to seeing
yeah.
kids. But I feel like as I got older, it was very common for me to see that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so,
public schools.
I see.
Kids, kids fighting and all that kind of stuff. And it was, to me, it was a culture shock, but I was able to assimilate very well. I can say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long would you say it took you to readjust to?
It took a little bit. I think I took because I was who was I tell? I think it was you or you. When I first moved, I was so sad. Like, I cried. We drove from New York to Atlanta, and I think I cried the entire drive.
Wow.
I was so depressed.
Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I have two younger siblings.
Wow.
I have two younger siblings. And I was so sad because it was like you just took everything from me, everything that I knew, like my whole life, my world, my friends, everything. And you just snatched it from me.
Now you have to go.
Now I have to start all over. You get what I'm saying? So it was a very interesting transition, and it still sticks in my mind till this day. It makes me who I am. Honestly, I'm not gonna
Got you. So that experience formed.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah, I did.
That's interesting.
Definitely.
And so now you're in ATL.
Yeah,
right?
I'm in ATL, different world.
Different world.
Definitely.
Students fighting. Kids fighting and everything.
Yeah.
When was the first one you had?
I've never fought.
Really?
No, I'm a good girl now.
So now, thank God you said now.
Now, what about before?
No. You said now.
I'm a good girl. I've always been a good girl.
You never got into any fight.
I got into altercations.
Exactly.
When I was in school. Absolutely.
Considering where you're coming from, I was the first one for you. What happened? Give us the gist.
I don't remember. It was so
Boyfriend
long ago.
issues?
No. Just normal.
It was just regular petty stuff.
Children, kids.
Gotcha.
Oh man, but yeah, that was so long ago. Like irrelevant.
All right. So, like, when you came to ATL and you assimilated, did they see you as an African or as an African American?
That's a very good question. I don't know.
Like, when did you realize that, hey, I'm not American anymore?
Remember I said maybe like around my teenage years is when I started to realize that
you were Nigerian.
Yeah, so I would definitely say my name always stood out, right?
Okay.
So they will always know I'm African. When I tell them my name, or not even just that, during roll call in school.
Gotcha.
Roll call in school. That's what every African person, immigrant does.
Damn.
Let me
We all
tell you something
I
funny.
just felt my stomach.
Those memories all ingrained in our minds. Roll call.
You don't know how they're going to say your name.
Let me tell you something funny, right?
From everybody else.
I have a friend of mine that named all his kids like with English names.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, why not just give your kids Yoruba names or Igbo names or something? We're like, no, I want people to be able to call their names. I said, there's no point saying Jason Abegunde anyway.
But you know what?
There's no, it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. Just say your name is Johnson Shukudi. Like it doesn't make any sense. Just
That's
give you
true.
child.
But you know what? Some people do. They even change their last name to Johnson. They even change the last name.
So you see,
not me. But I'm saying there's a lot of people who are like Nigerians who would now change their surnames
undercover
to in English.
Nigerians.
Yeah, because they just want to be able to fit in.
Undercover.
You've never heard of that?
Nah.
So where the Nigerian?
wild,
Where would a Nigerian get the last name Johnson from? This is some
I
Nigerian.
don't know. I mean,
some
they keep it in
Lagosians,
slavery. They keep it in slavery.
the Savages, the Savage, the Mobolaji Johnsons.
So I'm saying so. But
From slavery. Yeah,
Okay.
Right.
But
So,
people
but
who
that's
do- that's
if you're
their-
doing
That's
it
what
yourself.
I would think, though.
That is like you're
That's
imposing.
complex.
That's a thank you.
That's complex,
That's
100%.
that's
But what?
wild.
Wait. Okay.
Go
I don't want
ahead.
to go there. No.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Because I'm trying to understand. Like they're keeping their last name from slavery.
No, they got it. There are people in Lagos
Johnsons.
that have English last names, like Savage, like
And
Johnson.
I know that.
like
That's what I'm saying.
what?
Did they change it or did they get it from? Who did they get that last name from?
I think they might have changed it. Maybe someone
That's what I'm saying.
gave them
That's what I'm
something and they
saying.
decided to change. I don't
That's
know
what I'm
this,
saying.
the
They
whole
changed-
story about
a
it,
lot of
so
people, they changed their last
I'm not
name.
well informed
got it.
enough
They
to say
changed
this
their
is.
So
last
you're just saying that
What?
they change. People change their last names to assimilate
in.
more with the culture in the Western.
Yeah, Western. Yeah, so
Wow,
it could be easier
wow,
to pronounce.
Wow.
Yeah.
But those kids are those.
Yeah,
people,
but when you're in school, it's like during that time when they're calling the names and you're kind of cringing because you know they're going to butcher the name.
fact,
and you have to now correct them with the name and all that kind of stuff. People might start looking at you and laughing at you and all those kind of things. It really does shape you. I'm not going to lie.
When did you realize that you wanted to explore more of your Nigerian roots, and what inspired that decision?
Okay, so when you say explore more of my Nigerian roots, like you're referring to wanting to actually visit
The
Nigeria.
desire. What caused the desire?
Okay, yes. So what
What about it? Because you're. So you said 2018.
Yeah, so 2018 is when I went to Nigeria for the first time as an adult by
Okay.
myself.
Okay.
So what actually made me want to explore Nigeria and actually go and see it for myself was wanting to get into the entertainment industry out there.
Got it.
Because I was always intrigued with the entertainment industry, like the movie, because I'm an actress, right? So I've always been intrigued with the Nollywood and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to see if I can get my foot in the door somehow, some way, and see if I can make it work for myself. So I was
Ambitious.
just seeing, okay, maybe I can go out there if it would be possible for me to possibly live there.
Really?
Yeah, that was my goal when I went there. I wanted to see if I can actually live there because I really wanted to pursue acting out there.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
How was the experience like for you?
Wow.
it was-
That's interesting.
Understanding that you didn't grow up there, you probably
Yeah.
doesn't have a lot of friends.
And then you want to live
And
there,
now you
and
try
you're
to
not
live
afraid.
there.
Wait,
All
wait, hold on.
right.
So, Darren, let's spend some time here a little bit. What inspired that? I need to know because you were here your whole life.
I think just because like
Like
I've always been involved in the African community, like Nigerian community in Atlanta and in the U.S. So I've always been like, it didn't just happen overnight. Like I've always been listening to Afro beats and African music. and
but
watching
you
movies.
want to move, not being.
Yeah, but I'm saying like it wasn't just like one day I randomly just decided
got you.
to just
The build up.
be
Tell me the
African.
build up. Like I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
when did you stop becoming? When did you stop
When
being
did
a
you stop
Jamaican?
listening?
Oh,
Hold on.
When did I stop
When did you stop being a Jamaican and
You know, the
Caribbean?
island.
And now you're
And now
not
you're
in
like, yo,
Nigeria.
let me catch a flight to Nigeria.
Why was everybody Jamaican? Every African person was ashamed to claim their African roots.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
Everybody
so-
wanted to claim Jamaica.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
So at what point did that change?
I did look at you
walk,
for eye.
walk me through. Because I'm sure a lot of things had to be working right at the same time for that to happen. Obviously, the emergence of Afrobeat music, I'm sure, shaped
Probably.
and
But
influenced-
No, it
What
isn't.
was their
That's
own
what I'm
experience
saying. I
like?
feel
What was their own experience
Me,
like?
what I'm trying to say, I was never one of those Africans who pretended to be Jamaican.
But
Like,
it was a thing then.
it was
you
a
know?
thing then.
Yeah,
There was people,
yeah.
of course, who pretended to be from Jamaica. But I always, if you ask me where I'm from, I'm going to tell you I'm from Nigeria.
Got it.
So like my parents, well, my dad especially was so big on making sure we were very big. We were very into our Nigerian heritage. Like we were a part of organizations growing up, like Nigerian organizations. Like we have this organization in Atlanta called the NYA, Nigerian Youth Alliance.
Oh,
So I was a part of that from 13 up until high school.
13?
Yeah, so as soon as I moved to Atlanta,
got
I got plugged into the NYA, and I was there from 13 up until 18, around that time,
Gotcha.
after I graduated from high school.
never heard of that. Nigeria Youth
Nigerian
Alliance.
Youth Alliance is for
Wow.
young
That's dope.
adults, like kids, trying to bridge a
Interesting.
gap between being African.
Hey guys,
You know,
look that up, man. Come
And
Yeah,
definitely check it
yeah.
out. Shout out to Miss Mufan. She's the founder of the organization. She's
Beautiful.
been doing so many great work out there. Yeah, so I was there for like, a good amount of time. And after graduating from high school, I think that's when I started really getting invested in my African culture, because I started going to African parties and
So tell
stuff
me
like that.
the inspiration. So you telling me a lot of what you did. I want to know what inspired you to do that. So
Inspired me to do what?
To do what you just said. Out of high school, like you just said,
Yeah.
you started to go to more Nigerian.
yeah, like 2008.
Function.
Was he like a friend of
2007.
yours?
Yours,
like, or someone
what
you
made
met?
you want to
What
do
made
that?
you want
Because
to-
you could
I
go
mean, I
twerk on Magic City, or you could go do whatever. You could go anywhere else.
I don't
Why
know.
Nigerian? Why? Like that's what I'm asking.
I, that's a good question. Truly, I
like,
don't know.
So I guess
It
you
wasn't
were
like
just in the
anybody-
environment.
Maybe.
that just
I think it just so
made it
happened to-
enabled you to do that.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't think
see.
I was just, let me just, because I honestly, I can't even answer that question.
So do you see yourself more of a Nigerian or an African American?
You mean now?
now?
Now,
yeah.
I'm more, I see myself more of a Nigerian.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely,
See,
that's
definitely
dope.
see myself as a Nigerian.
I know why touched on that. Like that switch for you.
Yeah.
That love, like knowing fully well that, hey, this is not like a deal. You are American. You were born here you've been here all your life.
Absolutely.
Right?
I'm
You've-
American, of course.
In 24 hours of a day, you spend only 30 minutes in Nigeria.
Right, I agree.
And so the
Right.
reality, and that's the reality, and that is not,
Yeah.
is not a Disney, it's
Right.
who you are. So, when did being an African became so cool for you? Like in Asia, was
around-
it music?
No.
Was it when Afrobeat started popping?
No,
Or
it was around 2007.
Nigerians was just
2007.
there. Nigerians
So
was
that's
just there.
Yahoo's
Hey,
time. Wow, that's
my
going
era. That's my era. That's where
Got you.
but I was even before. I was even into Style Plus.
Okay.
So I was listening to
Nice,
2003 when Style
nice,
Plus had
nice,
and then P
nice.
Square, all that. We've listened to that since.
Yeah.
So I didn't just one day. That's the point I'm trying to make. I didn't just one day
There was a
wake
build-up
up.
to it.
You know, just
So
say,
you-
let me be
so
African.
you
It's
still
cool now. And
tapped
I've
in.
always been tapped in ever
Got
since I
you.
was young.
That is
Yeah,
nice.
I've
That is
always
nice.
been.
I think you should come back for an Afrobeat from way back that we normally do on
Yeah,
the
we
podcast.
usually do
So we
that.
normally do
Yeah,
Afrobeat
we do
from
that
way back
session.
before people started jumping on
Jumping
it.
on it.
What were the
Burna
songs?
Boy and
Oh,
all
What
that
were the
yeah,
songs
yeah.
then?
Oh, yeah, I know all the
I think
songs
you
from
should
back
come
then.
back for
That's
that.
dope.
That's
That's
Yeah.
dope.
And that is
So
nice.
that gives me now. So now that mirrors my experience in a way.
Exactly.
Because when I came back,
Mm-hmm.
that's when the band started to become more westernized.
Oh, yeah,
he
when
was
he-
big in Nigeria.
Yeah, and then he came.
Then
to,
he came out to the U.S.
Yeah.
and then Gongwaso, Lumaintain, all those people came after to shepherd Afrobeat. So I guess where it's at today.
Yeah.
That's
I
dope.
love the fact that you wanted to be an actress or an actor now, because I don't know, maybe we can.
No, actress. That's the right term.
You wanted
I
to
still
be.
consider myself. I still say actor.
Okay.
Yeah, I still say actor.
You wanted to be an actor,
Yeah.
but you wanted to be an actor in Africa.
Yes. Why not?
Was it what inspired that decision? What brought that decision? Was it that, I don't want to go through the stress of doing it there because I don't want to do like Rotimi and go to LA and go stay in a motel that's just $2. You know, Rotimi has a story out there, right? Rotimi has been in,
Right,
you know, like he has been doing music way back with Whiskey and back it up here and stuff.
I remember.
Was he, you were like, I don't want to do this. I want to go try in Nigeria, then maybe come back here and do
It was
here?
a little bit of both. I also felt like maybe I would have more of an advantage, but that was the complete opposite. After going out there and experiencing it for myself and talking to people and meeting people, my accent did not help me. If I'm being honest, being American did not help me in my favor. So I don't know. I just feel like like I said, I wanted to experience Nollywood and try to see if I can break into it out there, because Hollywood is a different beast. We all know.
Did you try with Hollywood?
Absolutely.
So you went to casting calls and stuff?
I have an agent. I'm sorry.
Oh, you have an agent out here?
Yeah,
okay,
I do.
okay,
I mean,
okay.
I have worked.
So how has that influenced your experience? Is it that you have different standards?
Mm-hmm.
Like, walk me through what the experience is like as an actress in trying to break into the Nollywood scene, but based in the U.S. Like, how do you even wrap your head around? Is it producers you meet? Do you have agents? What is the landscape out there?
That's the thing. I feel like you just have to go out there and put yourself out there and meet people and try to.
That's how it works in Nigeria.
You know, and honestly, it's about who you know, who wants to put you in their film. Even if you are a horrible actress or a horrible actor, because we know we have a lot of them. No offense, because most of them are not trained. You know, unfortunately, most of them are not trained. They just say, "Okay, I want to be an actor," and we go. And
you talking about in
Nigeria.
But she's right though, because like last Friday, I was on YouTube. I saw an interview with one of these actress, Wunmi Toriola. She's in the Yoruba side of the Nollywood, and she said something close to that. And like sometimes people just.
What did she say?
People just. It depends on who you know. One. Secondly, is people just want to blow, so they come to blow. When I mean like be known, and so they come to the movie industry because they know a lot of people.
Yeah.
And some might say, "Oh, I can sleep with anybody to just get to where I want to get."
Yeah, that's just,
and so
isn't that entertainment in general? I mean,
in general, no,
it's
still.
So I can sleep with anybody I want to sleep with, but my talent can only take me as far. Sleeping with everybody can only take me far.
So wait. Let's not confuse something.
No,
talent
I don't feel like
and training is different. So
no,
you can
but even if you're talented, you still need to be trained.
Yeah.
Right, but you could just be trained.
You're talented, you have to be
talent
trained. No. So that it comes two ways. You can be trained for something you love and you get it.
Okay.
Without having the talent.
Okay.
If you're dedicated, you can be trained and you get it.
Right.
Absolutely.
But you can also be talented.
Yeah.
And just go do it without being trained. You will still get it.
Yeah.
The ones that get to the top are the ones that are talented and are trained.
I agree, but what I'm saying is that in Nigeria, there's no infrastructure. Is
No,
there a
there
performing
is.
arts
Yes, there is.
university?
Yes, there is.
They have
Okay, and that funnels students into the Nollywood industry?
Yes.
Okay.
But my issue with Nollywood is that the actors are not training. They're not. They don't have acting classes that you can go to.
Point.
Like compared to here in the States, we have so many acting classes, so many schools that you can go to. And I'm not talking about universities. I'm just talking about a regular school
Training to just be an actor.
Yeah, like to train you for on camera audition techniques. Everything that you have to learn about being
journalism, whatever.
Now I know. Now that you're discussing this now on this podcast, I know why it might have been challenging for you when you went to Nigeria.
Why?
Because actors do have it in Nigeria. There's the Odun Fakakos owned by I think Yinka Quadri or something. There are actors in Nigeria that have come together. Not now. Jide Kosoko, I don't know if you know him. He's one of these veterans in Nigerian Nollywood. He, as far back as maybe 1990s, he had a school for that. There are actors in Nigeria now.
I'm not denying.
But maybe you don't know then. You didn't know then. So if you don't know, like you don't know, there's nobody you could have gone to. So now I can put it together and say, oh, if you're saying you would have loved that kind of situation whereby you go into like a family like that, where you guys train and make movies together,
plugged in.
The progress would have been seamless for you, because now you have someone that's already an actor that is known that is training
I
you
think
and put you on movies that you just
Daring.
That is just the way I
You
see
did
it.
a very great job of explaining the actual problem in Nigeria, bro. You shouldn't need to know an uncle
Exactly.
that happen to have a school.
Right, but I
Bro,
think that's
it's
just the
like,
reality.
what
of the
school did
situation.
Wizkid go through?
I did my
What
best.
school did Wizkid go through?
Banky
Tell me.
W. Wiz-
So,
Banky W.
what, like, but the thing is that why I'm actually shocked that you wanted to go to Nigeria is I feel like the creatives have never really gotten respect in Africa. Talk less of Nigeria. They only respect doctors, engineers,
Absolutely.
and what?
Lawyers.
So when you say you even want to go to school for acting, they're gonna be looking at you like, what you? There's all these other careers
Can go to.
that you can go, but then at the same time, Nigeria holds Nollywood. So I'm like, who's funneling these actors? Is it just uncle that like? Is it like
No, I
who?
mean,
How?
so-
What's the process?
So this is the way I look at it.
and
I
then-
don't know. I can't defend
That's
it.
me looking at it from just a novice.
Yeah.
Now you that's actually interested in being an actress.
Yeah.
You actually saw that place as an opportunity. I'm like looking at you like,
why
wait a minute,
not?
how is it an opportunity?
I don't see that. I mean, I feel like why not? Well, I don't have any. I honestly don't have anything to lose.
Gotcha.
By going there and trying.
I mean,
and,
Gotcha.
contribute your quota to the entertainment
You know,
industry.
and-
That's what we've been
yeah.
preaching, right?
Gotcha.
yeah, why
Gotcha.
not?
Doctors here, why not go do hospital in Nigeria? If you're doing
exactly.
something here, why not go replicate
but you
it in
can
Nigeria?
also represent Afro beats out here.
She doesn't sing though.
But
so-
you don't have. I'm saying not Afro beats. My fault. Nollywood. I'm saying like if their roles
She should start
why
doing
not?
that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
They are going
Like,
to,
I
but I
have,
feel like
though.
they're going
I have.
to
stereotype her.
cast her.
Like you're black, you just
no, then you're
here's
just
the
going
black
to,
role.
You're just going to be getting the
Cast.
African accent part where there is flies flying
Gotcha.
around. There's problem in Tanzania.
Hey.
They did them. That's what they're going to be giving her, and that's not what she wants to do.
I got you.
There's one.
All right, so
butterfly
let's
and-
move on. Go ahead. What's your next
So-
question? Let's not
I
go
mean,
here for
see,
too long.
this is, hey, producers out there, Nigeria is big now. Our movies are big and bigger and bigger.
And can I say something? Because
Reach
I
out.
mentioned something earlier on my Instagram. I was talking about Nollywood because I actually had another similar interview with a radio station in Atlanta, African radio show, and we were talking about Nollywood and how Nollywood is and how where it came, and now how it originated and how far it's come. And in my opinion, and people may not agree with me, but I honestly truly believe Nollywood has the potential to be so great.
Yeah.
It has the potential to be as big as Hollywood. You see how
Bigger
Afrobeat is big now. I see Nollywood being just like Afrobeat, in my opinion.
it's already-
But it's
yeah.
just a lot of stuff that they just don't do properly that hinders them from progressing and
They'll get
growing.
there. They'll get there.
There's a lot of great movies out there, a lot of great
A lot,
talented
a
people
lot,
out there.
a lot.
But it's just a lot of.
The uncle
Funny-
system. That's the
And
problem.
that's the point that I'm trying to
Can you
make.
leave
The
the uncle
uncle,
system?
Nah, it's the uncle system.
the
You gotta. That's the
Godfathers,
democratic system.
all
there.
those people,
Nah, bro.
everybody, the
Nah,
producers,
you gotta
the
be.
producers,
You gotta
directors,
know
they're all trying to
somebody.
sleep with
to
you.
So-
somebody else.
I am telling you.
It's
I'm not
so
saying what you're
crazy.
saying is wrong. I'm not
But
saying
it's-
what
but
you
it's-
guys are
but
saying
it's
is
true.
wrong. I'm not saying no. I know there's an
But
uncle
you still
system
need
out there.
gatekeepers, though, right?
There's a
That's what you're
definite
gonna say.
uncle
Yeah, gatekeepers.
You still need gatekeepers. Who's there? Okay, you can come in. No, that's not right, bro.
It's like if you're not sleeping with these directors and producers, you are not
You're
going
not
to
getting
blow.
that
You're
shot.
not going to make it.
I don't.
Unless you have your own money to fund your own movies, which is what a lot of women are doing now.
Got you.
In Hollywood, they're
Gotcha.
producing their own films.
I'm not in the
doing
movie
it.
industry to defend them. Though.
But that's what's happening.
I'm not one of them. I mean, I can act if you call me, but it's not the career I want to pursue. And so,
Kobe.
I feel like if someone wants to sleep with you in Nigerian movie industry, I mean, if you don't want to sleep with them, you can just say no.
They're
It
not
might
going
take-
to use you.
Well, it takes you longer time to get to where you're going to.
Is that right? Is that right, bro? And she has the talent
No, but-
and
But,
training.
but that is not just in the movie industry, though. Let me tell you.
We're not talking. Don't move the goalposts. We no.
No.
This
But-
is penalty kick right now. Don't go move the goalposts.
No, but I feel like you go do an interview with someone that doesn't know you. If he doesn't like you, he won't take you anyway.
Okay,
That's
but
the
how do you
reality.
know you don't like me?
You wouldn't know he didn't like you, but he will not pick you. But you might have someone that has a less qualification than you, and they will
see,
take.
that's the reason why in the U.S. they had the girl like Issa Rae that just had her phone, a tripod, and created her own movie. HBO picked her up. Netflix picked her up.
So do
now
that.
she has.
Exactly.
And
so
that's
that's what I'm
a
saying.
lot
So
of people
do
in
that.
Africa are
That's
doing
what they're
now.
doing
Yeah,
now.
so
They're
do
like,
it.
God, to hell with y'all. Okay, we
Yeah.
have YouTube.
Yeah.
I have an iPhone and I have a tripod and some friends. We can make a movie or
Exactly.
a skit
I wouldn't
right
say
now.
Uncle, I can't sleep with you. I'm going to use my camera.
Yes, why not? Absolutely, Uncle. I cannot sleep with you at all. No,
I know you
God
are a
forbid
veteran,
such
but
thing.
it's not happening.
It's like, but it's happening though. A lot of women are doing it.
Exactly. So why would they stop?
So
if
who's
if
the
people are
Harvey
offering?
Weinstein of the Nollywood scene? Can
Hey,
you
that
drop
one
that name
I
or
don't-
what?
that one I
You
don't
don't know
know.
yet?
I don't know. Please, oh, don't cast me
You
for
trying
this
to still
industry.
grow in the industry?
No, don't cast
You know,
me.
you know what
I have
enemies
not
get?
blown yet. I'm still on a come up. Please, I beg.
Okay.
So let me rescue you from a while. He wants to put you in trouble.
Yeah, please, oh.
So I'll ask this. So how do you balance the pride of being a Nigerian, and the authenticity of being an American at the same time?
Ooh, balance of pride of being Nigerian.
You're American.
Yeah, my American side,
That
yeah.
is settled. You are American.
When does the American side come out?
Man.
When does that's what he's trying to ask you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna give it to you straight up. So when does the African accent come out?
My
And when
African
does the
accent
New York
always
accent
come
come out?
Well, I haven't. See, it's so crazy. I think a lot of us can code switch, right? If that's the word I
what
can
you
use.
learn if you're Nigerian.
You know, a lot of us can do that. And as I'm getting older now, I don't know if it's because I spend so much time around Nigerians that I have more of a Nigerian accent now compared to before.
Gotcha.
Like I don't know how to explain
See,
it. Like
he-
my brother tells me, as of recent, you've been having this fake African accent. I don't know where it came from. It's like you do this fake African. I'm like, how is it fake? But it's like I can't help it. It's to me it's natural. Like speaking like a Nigerian, which I don't want to use that because Nigerians
It's
have
kinda crazy.
so many
Yeah, different-
dialects,
right,
all
right.
that kind of stuff, right? So the way I talk, I can't talk as if I'm from Nigeria.
See?
And now
Switch.
Oh, shit.
I can't just start I can't just talk as though I'm,
Born in Brooklyn. or
born
in
in
Staten Island. Yeah,
Nigeria,
gotcha.
or I can just talk like I was born
Gotcha.
here in
That's
America,
dope.
and I can interchange it within the same conversation.
How has that been a good thing and how has it been a bad thing?
I don't think it has affected me in any negative way at all.
No negative
No,
way
I
at
don't
all.
think so.
Gotcha. That's dope.
No.
That's
I always say it on this show, like that I'm never gonna be able to say gonna. It's not happening.
Why?
I'll give you 4 years, bro.
Well, I don't
You
know.
still
I've been
on the
here more than
clock.
4 years.
Nah,
I've been here more than 4 years.
You can't say gonna,
When you hit
gonna.
that 10, the decade, then I'm gonna ask you ask that same question.
No, my accent is never gonna. She
no,
was
It's
saying
never gonna
earlier.
what? You just said
No,
gonna.
no.
He just said gonna. He just did it right now.
She was saying earlier that my accent is more French than being African.
Yeah, we were saying that we hear more
I
of
see.
it.
Yeah, like she
It's
she
not
feels
fully-
like
Just give him
He's
some
not fully
time. He's still
Nigerian.
marinating. He's still marinating right now.
Yeah.
Just give him to 2030. We'll see if
Why
the gonna.
But no, you're
Vision 2030.
You know what? You know what's so interesting? I'm not gonna lie. Like it's so crazy. Like okay, so a lot of people are moving back to Nigeria.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
even Americans are going to Nigeria.
They're like,
So
bye.
so I've been hearing people who've been living in America their entire time, in their entire lives. Now they're living in Nigeria. They pick up the accent. And I think it's so cool. Like people who've never, I'm talking about people who've never stepped foot in Nigeria. Don't have family who are Nigerians, but they're from here and they decided to go to Nigeria.
And now they have the Nigerian accent.
Yeah, as an adult is what I'm saying. I think it's very intriguing. I
So-
think you just pick up what
Around.
what's around you.
Ladies and gentlemen, and that is why we are doing this.
Yeah.
October 2025, Real Afro Unity is going to Africa.
Yes, we're going to Africa.
We're going to Africa.